Yes, I think we're live on YouTube, so well done to me for clicking the right button today. Welcome to Dil's Party Wall Show. We talk about matters Party Wall Act. My name's Dil. Let's get on with it. Chief Surveyor at 1996 Party Wall, where we deal with Party Wall stuff. So this is a YouTube show. Hopefully you love the content here, so like it, or you can get some more stuff, comment, share, and of course subscribe so more of your friends and people who need this can see it. And if you watch right till the end, I'm going to show you how to get a free bonus, absolutely free. That's really, really useful. So let's get going. This is quite a common question I get, and I've abbreviated it a little bit. Do I still need a party wall agreement? Full question is, I've got planning. Do I still need a party wall agreement? And or the way that people talk about it is, why do I need a party wall agreement? I've got planning. So who's this useful for? Well, it's obviously talking about the Party Wall Act. If you're a homeowner, it's going to be useful for you thinking about doing some works. If you're a surveyor, this will be really useful educational content for you. And if you're a construction professional, definitely useful for you. Right. I'm just trying to wait for the screen to catch up. I want to know what's going on. Okay. So if you're any of these, you definitely need to understand and know this stuff. Okay. All right. So let's get on with it. Basic question. I've got my planning for my loft, my rear extension. Don't need planning for taking chimneys, breasts out. Why do I need a party wall agreement? Yeah. Or do I still need a party wall agreement? Yes, you do. So this is a question and answer show. I've answered the question, so we can go home now. No, sorry. Yeah, actually, it's a bit more deeper than that. So these are the most common types of residential works. If you're doing a rear extension, if you're doing a loft conversion, or if you're planning to do it at least, and occasionally you'll get porches and outhouses that may or may not be notifiable. Not sure about those. So actually, I am sure about it. What I mean is, it depends on the circumstances of your property and your neighbor's property and the buildings in relation to it. So that's the long question. And also, this is the one that everybody misses, chimney breasts. And the chimney breasts are the element, you get a roof below its chimney breast. That little chimney that pokes out, everybody knows is a chimney stack. So that's the two elements of the chimney, right? Good little illustration there. Thought I forgot a slide. Okay, so look, this really is a key diagram here, and let me explain why. Let me get my magic wand out. This stuff is awesome. No, I have to say, wrong one. Right, I have to say, Zoom. Thank you very much. Super little. More than a little program, it's world famous now. Okay, if you're doing a rear extension, you need to check section 6.1, 6.2 rules and section 1 rules. Right. Thing to understand about the Party Wall Act is it doesn't care what your project is. All it cares is all the works you're going to do in your project, certain amount of it, are they notifiable? That's all we're focused on, the notifiable works. We don't care if you've got planning. We don't care if it's not about, we don't care. We should really, as people who do party wall stuff, party wall surveyors, you just need to focus on the notifiable elements. What do I mean by that? So, there are about 3 sections that are notifiable. There's section 6, 6.1 and 6.2, section 1, and section 2.3. And that's it. If a part of your works falls within those rules, they are those works are then what's called notifiable works. Yeah. And the Party Wall Act only deals with notifiable works. in a sense, well, it's actually true. The Party Wall Act isn't worried if you're doing a rear extension. It's not concerned if you're doing a loft conversion, and it's not concerned if you're doing chimneys out. It's not, although we say it in a Party Wall agreement, it's not within our remit to control the other work, I think the term is statutory consents. So whether you've got planning or not is the builder's problem, building owner's problem. Whether they meet building control is their issue. All we need to do is to say, have you complied with the Party Wall Act? If that's your project, do these three little elements, are they notifiable under the Party Wall Act? And that's it. There's rules for each of those. I'll do a longer video explaining all of these. The problem I have is I can get carried away, and I've got a couple of videos on there that are 1.5 hour webinars, so you can go and watch those if you really want to know. But I'm going to try and keep it brief. All right, Section 6, do we need to deal with a Section 6, 1 or 2 rules? 1 and 2 is subsections. There's Section 1, which has 3 subsections that are mostly dealt with. And there's Section 2/3. They've got a bunch of other subsections, and we don't go into that, but mainly lofts and removal of chimney. So, and I'm trying to keep this focus on homeowners, but homeowners / residential construction, because a lot of the work is focused on that. Although when we get into commercial projects, it becomes easier to deal with. It's weird, isn't it? Right, so if you're doing a rear extension, you need to check, do your works need to be notified under Section 6.1 or 6.2 or Section 1? If you're doing a loft conversion, do they need to be notified under Section 2.3? If you're taking a chimney out, are they notifiable under Section 2.3? And the chimney one is the easiest, because basically if you share a wall and that chimney is built with that wall, that's notifiable. Simple, right? Yep. Or a certain character will say on the ad simples. Porches and outhouses can and cannot be notifiable. It depends. Yeah, so that's that. Right. That's basically it. So what is the Party Wall process? Now, doesn't matter how many videos I do. I had this conversation with someone this morning. So look, and the conversation went something like, my neighbor sent me a Party Wall agreement. I didn't think it was sufficient. So I said, I'm not going to sign it. It's actually wrong in a lot of ways. I'm sorry. So let me put it this way. But this is a framework of law that's used in a lot of other frameworks. It's very similar. Yeah. Unfortunately, we have to deal with the law because it's the law. All right. Well, I've made because it's my joke. Okay. Stage 1 starts with the notice. Building owner sends a notice to the notifiable owners. This is not a Party Wall agreement. It's a notice. Notice that we're going to do notifiable works. Here's our notice. Stage 2 depends on the answer from the adjoining owners. Or it's actually the notifiable owner. I'm going to use the term interchangeable. Right. The adjoining owners cannot reply in the following way. And I just finished a conversation with someone who was getting upset that the neighbor wasn't giving him a reply. And I said, look, you can't make them reply how you want. Schedule of condition is a survey of their house, not yours. And that's very much like, when you rent a car, they can take photographs, and when you dent, scratch, or do other things to it, they can then bill you for it. So basically, that's that. Very much like renting a car. This actually protects you as a building owner from false and malicious claims. Party Wall award is actually a Party Wall agreement. When people talk about a Party Wall agreement, that's a common term for what's what is actually technically an award. Award is it's a judgment, or it's the legal document which settles how the work's going to be done and all the other details to go with it. Like I said, legal document, it adds rights and responsibilities of both parties, and will usually put in their process if there's damage. Yeah. Okay, so here's the basic term. Building owner, this is the person or the group of people or the limited company, the owners of the building that want to do the works. It could be freeholders, limited companies, partners, whoever owns it. Yeah. On the other side, you've got classes of adjoining owners. Now, there's 3 classes in the Act, but they map out onto 4. Here's where we go. Okay. So you've got the freeholders, you've got leaseholders, more than 1 year. Now, there's a problem here. We search a land registry for notifiable owners, and people with leases of less than 7 years aren't required to register on land registry. So those guys get missed off. There's another group of people called, and these are the ones that do creative contracts. You'll come across, occasionally you come across these. I'm beginning to understand what they are. So they're right to purchase and various issues going on. They're not easy to reveal, not easy to work out, and sometimes they'll pop out in the middle of an agreement. So basically, if you've got right to profit from land, you're actually notifiable. Yeah. And if you've exchanged on a property or a house, you become a notifiable owner. So England and Wales, this only applies to England and Wales. Usually we have an exchange and then a completion. So as soon as you exchange, you're a notifiable owner. And at that point, you've probably got the current owner and the exchange owner are both notifiable. The current owner is going to drop away, and the party that's the owners that have exchanged have gone to contract, so they're committed to buying it, are notifiable owners. So that's quite important when lots of properties are being bought and sold. Okay. Now, very important. Tenants under ASTs aren't notifiable. Council tenants aren't notifiable. Mortgage companies are not notifiable. And the free gift I'm going to come to you with, we should only deal with freehold owners. Anything else gets too complex. So I wouldn't recommend you do your own notices in that scenario. You could probably just about get away with doing it if you're a freehold owner. Not really recommended, because just see it go wrong too often. Okay, so look, let's get on with it. What's the process for each adjoining owner? Now, once the surveyor noticed the building, this is actually a diagrammatic illustration of the previous one. They can consent with a schedule of condition. We'll go and do that for them. They can dissent, which doesn't mean they can stop the works. It just means that they'd like a party wall award. And basically a surveyor will get involved, so there can be one agreed surveyor, or each party can have their own surveyor, but the output's very similar. Possibly, probably a schedule of condition and a party wall award, and then that owner is ready to go. And the fourth option, which is the one that everybody misses, if there's no response, they need to send a reminder letter. And if there's no response to that, you then need to appoint a surveyor. This surveyor will make a request, but can't make them do a survey. And regardless of the response to that request, we'll do a party wall award with this surveyor who's appointed for them. So yeah, it's looking a bit challenging and complex. So you do see this sort of idea in other elements of the law, but unfortunately, not very many laws get this complex, and there's other areas of complexity. Not really. I'm getting a bit. Anyway, I'm getting a bit political on what I'm saying about this law, but it's difficult to get all your head around all the elements of it. Okay, so promised you bonus content. So here's a bit of a bonus for you. Actually, it's a bonus that you can grab free. Okay. Oh, good. Actually, I forgot this bit. This is the wording in that 10-4 letter I talked about. And I'm going to put it in something that I'm going to give to you for free in a minute. Take a screenshot of this. Hopefully you can get it down. Go back and pause it and copy it. This sort of defeats a lot of people. This is the government booklet. Now, they might have moved it again. So I don't know where the hell it is at the moment, but it's roughly, it hasn't changed much. It's got great illustrations, really good, some good explanations of law, and I sometimes use their diagrams. They're quite well drawn. But what it's missing is a process. So, and as the government's busy, we created one for them. It is a process tick list. You could download it absolutely free. It's in the description. Grab it, it's totally free of charge. It's also got these draft notices that are much more simplified, and you're free to use those. There you go. Just grab it from the description, and I'm going to try and do a longer form content on what's useful to householders. Okay, so hopefully you like this. So like it, comment on it, share it, subscribe so you can get more content. And I'm going to practice doing something a little bit odd now. We'll close this show off and try and do a short. I might not get away with it. So let's see what happens. I'll definitely see you next week, if not sooner. And you enjoyed this, like, share.